Hi, I'm Darren Miles with Darren Miles Photography based here in beautiful, sunny Naples, Florida. And this is the Nikon 85mm f1.8. And this lens is about 1/3 the price of the much more expensive Nikon 85mm f1.4. But can it hold a candle to its much more expensive brethren? Well, we scored the Nikon 85mm f1.8 a 46 out of 50 and gave it our highly recommended rating. Now, if you're curious to know how we got there, well, stick around and find out. In the last couple of years, Nikon has released a series of prosumer-oriented prime G-series lenses with f1.8 apertures, offering decent but plasticky build, great optics, and at reasonable prices. Now, they're not cheap, they're just not nearly as expensive as their f1.4 counterparts. One of those lenses is the 85mm f1.8, and this lens is quickly finding its way to the top of my own personal most used list. Granted, it's 2/3 of a stop of light slower than the f1.4 counterparts, but with the high ISO capabilities of the most recent Nikon bodies, and those ISO capabilities are unbelievable, is the loss of 2/3 of a stop of light, which I admit can make the difference sometimes. But still, is that loss of 2/3 of a stop of light really worth a tripling of the price? Okay, so first up is the build quality, and well, it's plastic, but at least it's a decent grade of plastic, which helps in keeping the heft of the lens down as it comes in just north of 12 ounces in weight, making it light and well balanced with the D750 that I have it mated to here. The lens hood too is made out of a nice lightweight grade of plastic as well. At least the lens mount is made out of metal. The focus ring is really light and moves really freely without a lot of resistance. It almost sounds hollow, I guess it rubs against the housing. On the inside, there are 9 elements arranged in 9 individual groups, and there are 7 rounded aperture blades, which makes for some nice bokeh rendering. The lens does not have image stabilization, and the front filter thread is 67mm. At the mount, there's a rubber gasket that is along the perimeter, indicating some semblance of weather sealing. Lastly, the minimum focus distance is a reasonable 2 feet and 6 inches away. Overall, it's plastic and lightweight, making it really easy to carry around all day. But given its plasticky exterior, it definitely errs on the consumer side of build quality, which makes sense given Nikon's efforts to keep the price relatively low. So for build, we gave the Nikon 85mm f1.8 a 7.5 out of 10. So next up is autofocus speed and accuracy. The 85 f1.8 is outfitted with Nikon's silent wave autofocus motor, which means AF speed is brisk and mostly accurate. Now, it's not as fast as a Canon ultrasonic motor, but in real-world situations, it's plenty fast enough, so I doubt you'll notice any real discernible difference in AF speed. Now, at its widest aperture of f1.8, I found the focus accuracy to be really good, but not perfect. But rather than me talking about the AF speed, let me just go ahead and demo it for you. We set the lens to infinity, and the beep is on. So here goes. We're going to try to get to the minimum focus distance and focus on this thing and see how long it takes to acquire focus. Okay, here we go. The beep is on, and bam. Okay, it hunted just a little bit, but it wasn't too bad. And let's focus on something far away. And again, that was reasonably quick. Now, again, is it as fast or as instantaneous as some of the Canon ultrasonic motors that I've used? Well, no, but but it's still so quick that I doubt you'd notice any difference in real-world situations. Now, except for the slight inconsistency of focus accuracy at f1.8, it's an all-around great effort by Nikon. So for AF speed and accuracy, we gave the Nikon 85mm f1.8 a 9 out of 10. So next up is optical quality and the quality of the results. It's built reasonably well, and it focuses pretty accurately. But in the end, though, it's about the optics. And optically, I'm just going to say it right now, I love this lens. I started flirting with Nikon back in October as I took a wedding photography class with one of my favorite photographers out there. The guy's name is Cliff Mountner. He's out of Philadelphia, and if you have like Kelby One or anything like that, you might have seen some of this guy's videos. In my opinion, he's an amazing wedding photographer. But what I really noticed about his images was how well his Nikons handled low light situations. As a Canon shooter for the last 10 years, I really felt like Canon started to fall further and further behind, specifically in ISO performance and in low light situations. So shortly after that class, I bought a D750, and the first lens that I got was the 85 f1.8. Truthfully, because I'd read it was their best f1.8 lens, and truthfully I didn't have enough money to buy the f1.4. So anyway, I started shooting. And it's not super sharp at f1.8, but it's sharp enough in the center. And from f2 onward, it's freaking awesome. For my wedding and portrait work, the 85 f1.8 is an absolute gem of a lens, especially when you consider how light it is. It makes it easy to carry around all day. But as with all of my reviews, rather than me talking up the image quality, it's probably better if I just show you the image quality. The next 2 to 3 minutes will be a series of stills and video clips showcasing the optics of the Nikkor 85mm f1.8G lens. And when I consider the price of this lens, I am just blown away. So last up is value. And at only $497, you get a reasonably built, lightweight, and optically excellent lens. To me, this is a total no-brainer, or as total of a no-brainer as you can get, because it's 95% of the performance of the f1.4 lens for 1/3 the price. Granted, you give up 2 aperture blades and 2/3 of a stop of light. But again, with the ridiculous ISO capabilities of the latest Nikon camera bodies, I no longer see this as a serious shortcoming. Yeah, the focus isn't perfect at f1.8, and sure, it's not tack sharp at f1.8 either, but I find that I shoot the 85 a lot at f2, and I don't really feel like I'm sacrificing all that much in the way of depth of field when I do, as the backgrounds still melt away into creamy smooth bokeh heaven, and the results of what's in focus are tack sharp. If I could give this lens a 12 for value, I would, but alas, I'm limited to 10. And as you might have guessed already, Nikon, in my opinion, has hit it way out of the park with the 85 f1.8. And for value, it's easily a 10 out of 10. So to wrap up this review, we gave the Nikon Nikkor 85mm f1.8G lens a 46 out of 50 and our highly recommended rating. The final word. If you're a portrait or wedding Nikon shooter in need of a nice, lightweight 85mm lens with great optics, fast and mostly accurate autofocus, and a relatively low price, then look no further than the 85mm f1.8G lens. With an amazing price to performance ratio it's really hard not to highly recommend a great lens that's priced like this. Really, it's as close to a no-brainer as I've ever reviewed. This is Darren Miles with Darren Miles Photography, based here in beautiful, sunny Naples, Florida. If you like these reviews, please don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and until the next time, happy shooting.